Is that a thing from COVID?
Yeah.
Like people just, when the sun comes out, not wanting to go out anymore.
Not wanting to go out
They
anymore.
just want to stay and do stuff
in the house.
in the house.
Yeah, it's a COVID hangover.
It's a bit shit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true though. they either want to do one or two things. Are you ready? These are the COVID warriors. So they either want to go shopping, so straight away the sun will go out and they'll go, let's go B&M. Like, go look Festival Park, matey. It's full of every SUV with every person. Yeah. All going different places. Or, let's stay in and do something, it's sunny.
Let's stay in and do something, it's sunny.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get it if you've got things to do. Like, if you've got things to do in the house and you can't go out, fair enough. But, like, when the sun shines...
I want to explain that situation. Such as what?
I don't know, maybe you've made... Maybe you started something yesterday and it needs finishing. I can't think of any examples, but yeah, the sun's out and like you want to go and walk around indoors somewhere. Go walk around outdoors somewhere.
It's a weird hangover from COVID as well, because the whole point of COVID was being outside.
And I've got no issues with because my yard needs doing. But we've been waiting for the right weather. This week's been the right weather. I've been working all week. So today's the perfect day for me to get my arse out there. The sun's shining, get a fucking Bluetooth speaker out there, bang some tunes on, top off. Fucking getting
belly
all
hanging
moods
out.
Belly out.
Yeah.
Can on.
Can on. Think about how hard's life. I'm going to go buy 6 cans of Stella. You get where I'm coming from? I'm going to buy 6 cans of Stella. I'm going to put some rock music on in my back garden, and I'm just going to clean up. I'm going to let my belly hang out, but I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to up my vitamin D. I'm going to up my positive mental attitude, and I'm going to have a great time because the music will give me that lift in my lift. Or I can go and find myself how busy I can be in one day. Yeah. And that's like, we need to go here, 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 we need to go here. You're not doing anything. What you're doing is you're wasting time because you don't want to do what needs to be done. Mm-hmm. Clean.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna do the yard today.
Yeah, get 6 cans of Stella, get top off.
I'm not going to drink Stella.
Right, and get 6 cans of Carling.
Maybe.
No, you've got to go. You can't go that low down. I've gone from Madrid.
No, I've got some Bursland beer.
Titanic.
Titanic, yeah.
Get some Titanic beer in thee. Get top off. Get thong on. Thong on. Pair of flip-flops. Mate.
Budgie smugglers.
I tell you what now, if I had a pair of budgie smugglers, I would wear budgie smugglers and flip-flops in my garden today.
Nice.
Just for the sake of going, yeah.
I'm not going to do that. So
I might do it.
I'm not doing budgie smugglers. Perfect day. Get your washing on the line as well while you're doing it.
Get washing on the line. That's something else that weirds me out. People using the dryer
when the sun's out.
Yeah. And then those same people moan about the electricity bill. Yeah. It's like, hello? Is this on? Do you see where? Do you know where I'm coming from? I have to pay a fortune for the electricity. Well, stop using your dryer in the peak time in the day then.
The sun wasn't even shining the other week, but there was no rain given out.
Yeah.
And it was relatively warm. And I'm like, well, if I peg stuff out at 9 a.m, by 8 p.m, it'll be dry. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Once it's out there, it's out. Just get it out there. It's fine. That'll be me today. I'm going to get stuff on the line and I'm going to pull some weeds up and listen to fucking Ted Nugent.
Listen to Ted Nugent.
I'm gonna listen to Kid Rock. And
I'm going to listen
America!
to I'm going to listen to Percy Sledge, and I'm going to listen to Otis Redding, and I might get myself some Little Richard.
Oof.
Or I might just digitally listen to Little Richard.
Is Little Richard like your Mexican houseboy?
Mate,
I'm just going to get a Little Richard.
I love Little Richard. Out of every bona fide singer, composer, writer, whichever, but for me, my Frank Sinatra's Little Richard. Just because he's the architect of rock and roll.
Did you ever watch the Little Richard biopic, the film, in the... God, it must have
It's
been...
ages ago, that
It
was.
must have been in the 2000s,
Yes, I
early
did, yeah.
2000s, with Leon,
Yeah.
the actor Leon, who played Black Jesus in Madonna's Like a Prayer.
I can't remember who
video.
played him. But yes, I have seen it.
But yeah, Leon played Little Richard. That movie is your stereotypical daytime TV, low budget biopic that you'd find on like the fucking Hallmark Channel or
Yeah.
something like that. On paper, it should be terrible. I think I watched that film every fucking day. Back when you had back when Sky Movies, Sky Cinema, you know, they've all got their own name now, haven't they? It's like
Yeah,
Sky
yeah, yeah.
Movies, Sky Action,
Premiere.
Sky Premiere,
Sky Cinema for the 14th time.
Sky Potter. It was fucking like Sky Animation.
Just plays Ghost on a loop.
Just it's fucking, yeah, it's ridiculous. But this is just back when it was Sky Movies 1, 2, and 3. That was it. Sky Movies 3, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Little Richard. Every day it was on.
yeah.
And I think I watched it every day. It's fucking brilliant. It was that. You couldn't buy it on DVD over here. It's not streaming on anything.
Is it not?
This day, and I've already checked.
I've not tried to.
You couldn't. You can buy. I ended up buying it. I imported it from the States and bought it Region 1, and then hacked me fucking DVD player so I could watch Region 1 DVDs, just so I could watch that film. I thought it was the fucking tits. Thought it was ace. I love Little Richard. That film was brilliant.
Most of the people that adorn these walls have all stayed with Little Richard.
Yeah.
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 Beatles,
Oh fuck! Yeah, I had no
Stones.
idea what you're on about then.
On the initial release, before
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
big, etc.,
Yeah.
etc., they all went and stayed with Little Richard.
The
And they didn't give him a Grammy.
Little Richard was just like,
I could watch him being interviewed live on television thousands of times through any type of interview. I could just watch him being interviewed all day long.
do you know, one of the it's very sad moment was Lemmy's funeral, and Dave Grohl gets up to make his little speech at Lemmy's funeral, and he's talking about Lemmy and blah blah blah, and he's talking about how Lemmy loved Little Richard, and he tells the story of he's I can't remember where he was, but somebody came up to him and said, you know, we've heard that you want to meet Little Richard, and
Yeah.
Dave Grohl says, I'd love to meet Little Richard, and and they were like, wait there. And this car pulls up and the window winds down and Little Richard's in the back of the car. And Dave Grohl's like, you know, you're such an influence. You're brilliant, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And Little Richard's just like, oh, bless you, child. And it's like, so he gets his autograph. It's like I think he had like a photo thing, like, and he gets his autograph and he was going to give it Lemmy for his birthday, and then Lemmy passed away before he had a chance to give him this photo, like, which is very sad. But it's just like, oh, bless you, child.
Bless you, child.
Just imagine him saying it like.
So whilst we're on Lemmy, this is Staffordshire. This is the Up the Trent podcast. I just nearly renamed us to This is Staffordshire podcast.
This is the Staffordshire podcast.
This is the
It's not.
Staffordshire podcast. It's not.
There
That's
might
a
be one.
massive infringement. But anyway, this is Up the Trent without a paddle. Whilst we're up the Trent without a paddle, whilst we're on about Lemmy, we've got a statue about Lemmy just about to be introduced.
Yeah.
Where's it being introduced?
It's in Burslem. So it's going to be in Burslem, just outside the old town hall. On May, the statue unveiling's been moved. It was going to be May the 8th, but it's been moved to May the 9th, the next day, because May the 8th is it VE Day or is it D Day? I think it's VE Day, isn't it?
One or the other.
Yeah. So they didn't want to like have that encroaching on, the end of the war. So they've moved it to the 9th. I've seen a couple of little sneak pictures of the statue, and it looks very, very good. I must admit, the guy who's made it has done an excellent job, because when people say, "Oh, there's going to be a statue unveiling," some of them are terrible, aren't they? Like, you look at them and you're like, "This
John Rudge statue's good.
pretty bad." The John Rudge statue was very good. I like that a lot.
I don't understand why we're having a statue for Lemmy.
Because
Am I the only guy who says it? I
No,
I
you're
genuinely
not.
think the only reason we're having a statue for Lemmy is because he's dead.
well, yeah. It's a memoriam for him, isn't it?
I see that, but I just for me,
Okay.
I can
Oh,
think.
do you mean like why Lemmy?
Why Lemmy?
What's he done, kind of thing?
What? I've got no memory of Lemmy ever promoting Stoke-on-Trent, Burslem, or the area.
I just think it's because
No,
of,
can you?
of who he is and what he achieved.
No, but can you?
No, not at all.
Now, just me, with my Stoke-on-Trent Burslem head on, I know a guy who does deserve a statue, who has promoted the hell out the area, and who's also from similar area. I don't know what Robbie Williams has to do in this area to get some bloody positive recognition, but can someone press the positive Robbie recognition button, please? Can we hammer that button, please?
Die.
Oh, he's got over 100 million sales. What?
I don't know
He's
what
got albums coming out of his
I don't
arse.
know what the. I think he has to get really old first before they'll do it. Like,
Mid-50s.
that's not really old anymore, Cleon. We're not living in the dark ages.
You go and ask a 10-year-old if mid-50s isn't really
yeah,
old.
a 10-year-old will say it's really
The only
old, but-
person who doesn't think mid-50s is really old is people that are mid-50s.
Yeah, go and ask somebody who's mid-50s. Like,
Go ask a
Hey,
25-year-old if mid-50s isn't No, I just think whoever, I don't know who the committee is that decides on statues and where statues are going to go. We've got some fantastic statues around the city. We were out on Thursday doing a load of content, which was great. And during that day, we went through, is it the Queen's Garden?
Queen's Gardens in Newcastle.
The Queen's Garden in Newcastle, and we've got two fantastic statues of the Queen,
Yeah.
of two different queens, Queen
Yeah.
Victoria, Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, Queen Victoria's statue's been there for.
Oh, it's been there
God,
for donkeys.
forever.
There's a new statue, the Queen Elizabeth
Yeah.
statue, and that's gorgeous. And it's even down to the minute detail of the roses.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very good. Whoever sculpted it is just like.
I've just had brainwave.
Oh, okay.
I just had brainwave. How to solve statue problem.
Okay.
Right. In Newcastle, we've got the Queen's Park.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Queen's Gardens, yeah.
The Queen's Gardens, Queen's Park. In Burslem, we can have the Rock God, the Rock Park, the Rock Garden.
Okay.
A
I
rock
think I know where
garden.
this is going.
A rock garden. Granted, we've only got two statues in there, but so's
Yeah.
the Queen's Garden. And we can put Rob and Lemmy. Let's chuck Slash in there. I know Slash is a big reach because he was only in Stoke-on-Trent for 2 years.
Yeah.
But let's chuck those two in there. And we could also put Harry Styles in there. He was at Holmes Chapels for 3 weeks.
I think. I think that once again, this is an issue with Stoke-on-Trent being 6 towns and not one city. Like, I know it's a city. So this year, 2025,
Yeah.
it's the 100th anniversary of Stoke-on-Trent becoming a city, and there's loads of events and things going on in the next few months around the city to promote it. The first performance was back in January, and that was the Rise of the Fab Four at the King's Hall.
Yeah.
That was the first concert that was aimed at celebrating the city, and there's loads of things going on. The Stoke-on-Trent Centenary have got social media all over the place and a website with everything that you can see what's going on. Do you know the quieter you are with that, the louder it is?
I'm just getting leave it.
Just rip it out, man.
I'm just getting leave it.
Just do it in one big pull. Just like, wah! Just get it out.
Carry on, Dave. Carry on. Make a mess.
So yeah, there's loads of things going on, and the Burslem unveiling of the statue in Burslem's part of it.
Yeah.
And then from the statue unveiling in Burslem, Motor Headache are going to be playing the Mitchell Arts Centre in Hanley.
Are those tickets on sale now?
Tickets are on sale now, yeah, available at musicmaniauk.com. So
They'll be playing all the hits such as the Ace of Spades and
Motorhead and Bomber.
And
Motorhead. That is a song. I'm not just being.
Oh, it's Motorhead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, loads of stuff going on, but I know we've said it before. The biggest problem for me with Stoke-on-Trent is like, as much as they tried to make Hanley the city centre, and it was the city centre for many years, it isn't anymore. I think we're back to individual town centres again, and I think the whole statue thing, like if you had a city centre where you could put a garden with statues in and stuff, that'd be ace. But I think you've got to put them relative to the area. So Lemmy he was born in Burslem. You know what I mean? So that's where the Lemmy statue goes, Burslem.
Yeah.
Would a Robbie statue be more fitting in Tunstall, for example?
Burslem.
Is that why? Why?
Because we've got nowhere put it in Tunstall.
Tunstall Park?
Really?
Could do.
Mate, it'll get defaced within minutes in
Outside
Tunstall
Asda?
Park. Outside Asda. Yeah.
In the little square where thing is, pub, Sneed Arms.
What, get rid of the clock tower?
Get rid of the clock tower.
If,
put Robbie
if,
there
if
instead.
we're getting rid of the clock tower and we're putting a 50-foot statue of Robbie Williams in the middle, in his rock DJ pants, with a right hand in the air, I'm all for that.
I've got the details up for the Lemmy thing, which we'll also talk about closer to the date. So the actual unveiling starts at 4:00.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Campbell, who was Lemmy's guitar player, is going to be there. I believe he's doing the unveiling. Not 100% on that one. The sculptor's name was Andy Edwards.
Yeah. It's a great statue.
Yeah, it's
Joking
really nice.
aside, it's a fantastic statue, Andy. Well done.
Yeah, so it was VE Day. It's the 80th anniversary of VE Day on the 8th, so that's why they've moved it to the 9th.
Yeah.
And then you've got, like I say, Motor Headache in the evening playing the Mitchell Arts Centre, which will be pretty cool. I would love to go that, Cleon, but I'm working it, so I can't.
Well, it looks like it's down to me.
So I'll be there, but I won't be there. If that
I'm on
makes
press
sense.
pass duty. Whoop, 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 whoop.
I'm part of obviously working for Mike Lloyd, which many people know, and he's got I think 3 or 4 shows actually booked for that day, so he can't be everywhere. So I've been roped in to work the Motor Headache.
I'm going to do the press for
the
the
Motor
whole
Headache gig.
I'm going to do the press, guys, for the whole thing. So here's a breakdown of some of the celebrations. So 2025 marks 100 years. Did you know that Stoke-on-Trent was granted city status by King George in 1925?
Do you know when? Because 1925 we got city status, but do you know when the councils actually decided to merge the 6 towns together to become Stoke-on-Trent?
No.
1910. It took 15 years for us to get city status.
Well, at least the council have kept up with how good they were back then. It takes them about that long to sort of pot all out now. So, Stoke-on-Trent Day, the first official Stoke-on-Trent Day, will take place on June the 5th, people. Put the dates in your diary. On June the 5th, everybody has to make an ashtray. The People's Parade. This major community event, organised in partnership with Stoke Creates, I've got no idea who these people are, will showcase the city's rich cultural heritage and creative spirit. We're going to build a canal in an ashtray, people. Events throughout the year. The City Council is encouraging businesses and the community to come together in a year-long programme to celebrate the city's heritage. And just for people who listen to this podcast, this is something we're also taking part in as well, by promoting the city and being positive about Stoke-on-Trent. £125,000 worth of funding boost from the Arts Council in England have helped to make the parades, the celebrations possible. That would have paid for about 4 lots of consulting from the council. Residents are urged to get involved in the centenary and plan their own events for 2025. Well, that's not very good, is it? We're giving you 125k and they've asked us to do it yourself. However, if you do want more information, and all joking aside, please visit www.sot100.org.uk for 100 years of strength, kindness and creativity as a city.
There's a lot of things like that would normally happen in Stoke, like throughout the year, that are actually like they're being included as part of the celebration as well. Something like Etruria Canal Festival.
Yeah,
that's being added to the Stoke Centenary list as something to go to and celebrate Stoke-on-Trent. The concert that they have at Trentham Gardens.
Yeah,
they're all part of the celebration as well. Stoke 100. It's
you can only bring 4 cans of your own beer.
I'm
sorry, mate.
Ocean Colour playing this year.
I get Ocean Colour scene playing, but I'm just going to have a word with the Trentham people right now. Why is there a limit on beer you can bring in?
Because you've got to buy it from them.
That's fine, but you can't then top it off at £7 a pint.
And that's how they get you, Cleon. That's how they get you. But that's just
Not me who watch Ocean Colour scene.
That's just venues now, though, isn't it? It's just concerts and venues.
It's not a venue.
Nobody is.
It's not a venue.
No, it is.
It's not. It's a garden with a stage.
Yeah, a venue. They can it's classed as a venue when
what
the stage is up.
What has happened with Trentham Gardens is they've heard Madison Square Garden and they built a pond.
It's like Download Festival. It's at Donington Park. It's outside. It's not a venue, but it is. They call it a venue. It's the venue. And you've got venue prices. I went to O2 Ritz in Manchester to watch Mr. Big last year or year before, I can't remember. And I went to the bar and I said, I'll have a pint of whatever the fuck it was. I can't remember what I had.
To the black stuff.
I'll have a pint of whatever that is on that tap. And she says to me, would you like a 2-pint glass in quotation marks, a plastic cup? Would you like a 2-pint plastic cup? Because you'll save money that way. If you're going to have another pint after this one, if you just have a 2-pint now...
Oh, are they charging for the cup as well?
They'll save... No, not charging for the cup. So you'll save, because it costs less to have a 2-pint drink than it does to have 2 separate 1-pint drinks. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, sound. So she pours the 2-pint, and then she goes, that's £14, please. I went... If you don't mind me asking, how much money have I saved? How much is a pint? And she went, a pint's £7.50.
Yeah.
I've saved £1.
Yeah.
She wasn't lying. I've still saved.
Cinema gets you that way.
But I was expecting for it to be like maybe £8.
No, cinema does the same.
£14.
I went to cinema not long ago. Can I have a large popcorn and a medium drink? You save money if you have a large... It's not just a cup of Coke, a large Coke in the cinema.
It's a bucket.
It's like, I'm going to walk in the cinema with this. I'm going to get a quarter of the way down. And then that's me to-ing and from-ing for the rest of the cinema, annoyed at myself. And then you go, yeah, I'll have it large. How much did I save? 25p. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
There's no point then, is there? I do not want a river of Pepsi.
I don't do it anymore. I just order what I want. Like, I'll have a small drink. I don't need a bucket of drink. I'll have a small drink, and I'll have this bag of Maltesers, and that'll do, thank you. And they go, oh, but if you add this to it, you add... Nope, shh, zip it, shh, be quiet. I just want some Maltesers and a small Coke.
What's the other one as well? They're doing special cups now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
Special cups. Yeah, you can have your drink in a special cup. Special cup's about £14.
Yeah.
The drink inside, it's another such and such. It's like you are... No.
I mean, I know they used to do that back in the day as well, but...
Bo goes to me, she goes, oh, that cup's amazing. I went, yeah, it is. Can I have
the
bloody milked?
the Dune one with the sandworm. The
Yeah.
sandworm's mouth that was open at the top of it.
Yeah.
It just looked like a flashlight. So you're looking at it going, I mean,
I mean, I have, when we went and watched Despicable Me 4, I did get the Minion cups because I did find them quite funny, actually. But it was only then when they totaled it all together, and I was like, the cinema visit's 50 quid.
yeah.
That's 50
Yeah,
quid. All
yeah.
I'm doing is sitting down for half an hour and having a quick snack.
Do you know what? It's standard these days. What I love the cinema. I love going to watch a film on the big screen. I don't think there's anything like it. And as much as the TVs in your house are big these days, you know what I mean? It's not like back when we were kids and we had, if you were lucky, you had a 20-inch TV.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And so going to the cinema, it was like, wow. And I know you massive TVs now in your house. That's great. But nothing beats going to the cinema.
Yeah.
The lights are off, the screen's big, the audio's great, you've got your snacks. I love the experience. So I like to invest in the experience, you know what I mean? Because back in the day, you know, you couldn't take your own snacks and you had to sneak them in. They're in your pants, they were everywhere, like trying to sneak your snacks in. Now, they don't care. I've seen people order fucking Dominoes and take it into the cinema. The cinemas don't care anymore. They just let you do it. But I think because the cinemas, it's dying out, you know what I mean? When you can just stream movies at home on your big TV and you can have your surround sound speakers in your house, it's, you know, I think the cinema's dying out. So I like to invest in it. I make it a day. I make it an event. You know what I mean? It's like going out for the day. You know, I'm going to spend some money. We're going to go out for the day. Yeah, I'm going to go to the cinema. I'm going to get me snacks from the cinema. I'm going to spend way too much money on them, but I'm investing in cinema.
Yeah.
And I like that. I love doing that. But you're absolutely right. Once you've bought your tickets, you know, you're on, if your family of four, you've bought your tickets, you're on 30 quid straight away.
There's 30.
If not more.
No, you're not. You're on 40. You're on 37.
Yeah. And then once you start adding your snacks on, like,
10,
double it.
20,
Yeah.
30, 40.
You know
There's
what I
80
mean?
quid.
Yeah, you've spent 80 quid.
I said to the kids today, I said, I'm not doing the cinema today. You break up for Easter next week.
Yeah.
You break up for Easter on Friday. You're going to be watching all your movies that you want to watch away on Easter. And I'm going to be like this. What should we do? And you're going to be nothing. And then I'm going to have to figure something else out to do. So for this moment in time, you break up on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm doing nothing this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it then.
But on the cinema.
I do appreciate how the cinemas throughout like half terms and holidays, they do put them earlier, cheaper showings on for the kids. That's great.
I think that's great.
And you can get offers and stuff. You know, you've got your Meerkat movies and O2 Priority and stuff like that. You know, if you happen to be eligible for them, you know, it can make it affordable. But you know, I don't go to the cinema as often as I used to. So it doesn't. If I was going every week, then obviously I couldn't afford to do it. But yeah,
on the cinema, I don't think all the movies that hit the cinema need to be on the cinema.
Okay.
I was watching movies coming up.
Yeah.
I love watching on YouTube, right? One of my favourite things to watch is movies coming out.
Yeah.
On YouTube. I love it. I honestly, I love it. And I was watching through the movies that were coming out, like Mickey 17, the new one with Robert Pattinson in.
Okay.
Looks an amazing movie. Looks really indie, but no one's going to watch it. Straight onto streaming with that movie. And then straight away followed up with the new Superman. Like, that trailer looks amazing.
Yeah.
They finally, I think, we finally nailed Superman. Because they brought Crypto the dog in, they've brought the Centenaries in, that where Superman's home is, they take care of Superman and repair him and rebuild him. We finally got a comic book accurate Superman for the first time ever. Because Christopher Reeve wasn't comic book accurate, they just went, Superman, guy flies. That was the only accurate part of it, and Kryptonite. And Lex Luthor, yeah. So I think for your big blockbuster movies, and I'm only going to stick to superheroes because I can't get into Gladiator 2. That was a great cinema movie.
Yeah.
Superman, great cinema movie. The new Avengers, Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Great cinema movie. Like, I'm so excited for that. The new Batman Beyond with the guy from Reacher in. Cinema movie.
Yeah.
You see where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
I think what's happened with the cinema is the same thing that's happened with coffee.
Okay.
Yeah? Everywhere's got a coffee.
Yeah.
There's coffee houses all over the shop. There's movies all over the shop. So what we've done, we've saturated
Okay.
the movie scene
Yeah.
by just going, and I think by trying to keep up with like things like Marvel, like DC. Quick, let's get Ben Affleck in a Batman outfit. That
Yeah.
was the response. There was no thought behind the story they were putting out, but it just needed to be out. And I think that's what's killing the movie industry right now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Too
COVID.
much.
It's too much.
Yeah. Well, a lot of good things, like
We don't need to see a remake of Snow White and the Bloody Dwarfs. Disney again.
that
Stop
doesn't.
it.
Yeah, that it doesn't need to be a cinematic release. Any of them, especially when you've got a platform like Disney Plus, any of them films, like the remake, the live action Lion
Yep.
King, and anything that they turned a cartoon into live action does not need a
Oh,
cinematic
that
release.
Mufasa's crap.
I've not even.
I
approached
have.
it.
I got forced
Not even
to. I
approached
got
it.
forced to buy it by my daughter, and I sat there. I'm not joking you. If there's ever a reason for a song in that movie, there's a bunch of lions singing. I'm not. It's like Disney on acid. It really is. It's like, are you right, Mufasa? I feel a bit blue today. I feel blue and I feel blue today. I feel blue and I feel blue. Like a bunch of buzzards dancing in a line. It's like, and then within 5 minutes later, what's happened? I can't find such and such. I can't find such and There's a song every 5 minutes, and I'm like, it's not needed. This
Yeah.
Mufasa movie wasn't needed.
There's so many, like with Disney remakes, Disney live action remakes of all the films that they chose to make live action. Like one of the first was Lady and the Tramp. Remember when Disney Plus
Yeah, it was
launched?
terrible.
Yeah, it was awful. Disney Plus launched, and Lady and the Tramp, the live action, was like one of the first. Bang, it was on there. And Lady and the Tramp it's a brilliant film. Love that film. The remake, not so much. They changed the story for a start.
They moved out We Are
Bit weird.
Siamese, if you please.
I understand, but yeah, meh. It just wasn't very good. There's loads, all the ones they've done. There's just like, then you think of films that they haven't done that would be perfect, like Atlantis. You know what I mean?
That's coming out. That's coming out next year.
I hope they nail it as well, because it's just got the whole structure of it is perfect for a live action remake. It'll be brilliant if they get it right. If they fuck that film up, I swear down, I'm cancelling my subscription.
Yeah, but things like the remakes, they don't need to go to cinema, and because it's kind of, oh, we're going the cinema for the sake of going the cinema. You're not going the cinema for something that you're interested in. You're just
think,
going because you're bored.
I mean,
It drives
obviously,
me nuts.
obviously these remakes, like the budgets on them are massive, so they've got to try and recoup that, and the best way of recouping it is by having it at the cinema. Box office sales, best way of recouping your budget. But yeah, it's just there's no need for them, and they phase out as well. They phase out really quick.
Well, Disney's changing its marketing strategy right now.
They hit the cinema, and then when nobody's going, they just disappear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas like your massive blockbusters like your Avengers and stuff like that, they came out in January, and in November you're having a look, see what's on at the cinema. Oh, Avengers is still on. Like, people are still watching it.
People are still watching it. Movies are out for about 2 weeks now.
What's annoying me? I like to go and watch like kind of documentaries and stuff like that. Where, like, when they make documentary movies. And this is something that it's not really cinema. You know what I mean? It's documentary movies like Becoming Led Zeppelin, that was out this year.
Yeah.
The
The Bon Jovi one.
Yeah, that was cool. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. But the Becoming Led Zeppelin, it got a cinematic release. Very limited, you know what I mean? Like, one showing in your local cinema. That's all it got. And I was like, you know what? I fancy watching that on the big screen because I hope they've done something with the audio so it sounds cinema good. And they did. It sounded really good. What did disappoint me is because it only had a limited run, especially in Stoke. I just ran across to the Odeon to watch it, and it was on, screens 9 and screen 10. Have you ever been in screen 9 and 10? So
like 3 chairs in there.
yeah, screen 10's like your living room.
3 chairs in
Yeah.
in a telly that gets wheeled in like in
Yeah.
primary school.
Yeah, screen 10's like your living room. Screen 9 is like your rich uncle's house who's got a bigger living room.
yeah.
But it was on screen 9, which was fine. But they didn't project it properly, so it was in widescreen, obviously, and instead of zooming out so that it filled the screen, they blackbarred it. So the screen had black bars, left, right, top, and bottom.
Oh, mega.
And then so it was like just watching it on your tally.
You might as well have watched it.
I might
on
as well
your
just
telly.
stayed at
It
home.
wasn't projecting. It was it's not. It's not a projector. Was that coming from behind? The
No,
screen?
from the front. From
Oh, was
comes
it?
above your head, and from the back of the cinema, like and projects it, but they just didn't zoom it out, which was just a bit shit. But there are like little kind of limited run things which I would like to go see at the cinema. Like there's a new John and Yoko documentary that's out this week.
Yeah.
But because it's a John and Yoko documentary, it's a very limited run. So actually finding a cinema that's playing it, is a bit of a nightmare because it's only in select theatres, and it normally involves travelling somewhere else. Like if you're lucky, one of the local cinemas here in Stoke will pick it up, and it'll get one showing at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So that's a bit annoying with things like that. But I would like to see more things like that.
He's my least favourite Beatle.
Yeah, he's my least favourite Beatle as well. But I'll always go watch a Beatle-related documentary.
Just anything without him and his wife, and I'd watch. Chuck Berry going, what the flip's going on? Anyway,
Yes.
we were away last week.
Oh, we were. Yeah, we didn't do a show, did we?
We didn't do a show last week. Where were we?
It was Mother's Day.
It was Mother's Day last week. I hope you got your mother a present.
Yeah, of course I did.
And a card. I got my mum a tree.
My mum wasn't very well, so
Was she not?
we had to avoid the house.
Weird this Mother's Day. No mothers wanted to see anyone.
Yeah.
My mum was the same.
She wasn't very well. She messaged on Saturday and said, "Luke, don't come up. I'm not very well at all.
I
I'm
genuinely think
throwing up everywhere."
all the grandparents on Mother's Day went, oh, fuck off.
So
Can't be bothered with this tomorrow.
yeah, we went up later on in the week.
So, last week I was in a glorious place. I was in a place called Newcastle upon Tyne. Mm-hmm. And I was watching, and I don't know if you've seen it on the news, the Newcastle United parade.
I saw bits.
You saw bits?
Saw bits.
Now, I've never seen 300,000 people all descend on a city centre and just party like it's 1955. 1999. 1955. God, I went back to the future then. This coffee is good. Yeah, an absolute amazing weekend. My uncle Maurice summed it up perfectly the day after. He said to my son, he says, do you know the most fondest memory I've got with my dad is being on his shoulders when Newcastle were driving the cup through Newcastle.
Right.
He says, I remember that now. He says, I was 8 at the time. And I was there going, and I was there, I wanted to go, and you've done it with me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what the day was about. I saw the guys I saw the guys on the bus. The event was good. It would have been better with a beer tent
Okay.
because they said no alcohol. And I'm like, can everyone stop banning alcohol all the time, please? It's starting to annoy me. No one just wants to smell weed. Can we just have beer on the go at every opportunity, please? Because in the northeast, we're happier with beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that's
I've never met an unhappy Geordie, in all fairness.
well, exactly.
Wow.
I started to think, why are we not having beer? Why are we not having beer? And on the way in, I found out.
Oh, okay.
As there was various old men between 65 and 80 just asleep. So they shut all the roads off. They closed all the roads in Newcastle, so you couldn't
Yeah.
get any cars up because they were doing the parade. And when I say they closed the roads in Newcastle, trust me, they know how to close roads in Newcastle. They were using, those huge cement mixers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were using to block the roads.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he was. Well, if you think about it, you've got just close to 500,000 people all in the middle of the city centre.
Yeah.
We all know what someone could be thinking in that event. Yeah? Anyway, so there was old blokes just... I saw one old guy, and he nearly made me cry. He was lying down on the ground, starfished. He was fast asleep, and he had a massive smile on his face.
Aw.
And I just walked past him and I kind of went, yeah. Well done, old man.
Good lad.
Good lad.
Good lad.
Enjoy yourself. And then I went like this. Oh, why did I bring me kids? This is the one time it's acceptable to just get drunk in Newcastle.
But then you remember that one day the lad, he'll remember being on his dad's shoulders in 70 years,
Yeah.
the last time that Newcastle won a cup.
Yeah. Do you know if Newcastle never win a trophy, I'm never going to be able to be smashed watching them lifting a trophy.
This is true.
It's so annoying. So the next cup final Newcastle are in, I'm going on my own and I'm going to sit in a pub. I'm going to stack my money up high and I'm going to run it like Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
And say, right, you're going to bring me a beer every 10 minutes. On 10 minutes, every 10 minutes. A little shot of tequila. Every 10 minutes
It's a little shot.
until I fall over.
Yeah.
Absolute amazing. I got to see my auntie and uncle and my cousins who I haven't seen since the beginning of the season. Got to have all the cuddles and the familyness and the togetherness and the, smelling the air and beautiful. An absolute amazing time. And great to see so many fans just enjoy themselves. I only saw one little bit of trouble, and that was two kids, both 16, both had a little bit too much alcohol, and all that happened was a very big bloke who was walking down one end of the street just grabbed this lad and went, "Not today, kid." And this other big lad grabbed the other lad and went, "Not today, kid," and separated them, turned them round. They weren't even with them.
Yeah.
They've just, both of them have grabbed either one, pulled them aside, turned them round and gone, "Go home." And they've gone home. I was like, that's some amazing, just crowd control, that is, from the actual crowd. And I never give these guys any compliments, but I've got to say, the Newcastle Upon Time Police Force, or the Northumberland's police force, are brilliant. Are absolutely brilliant, because you can imagine what people were doing walking around, smoking, drinking, and everything else. They didn't make the day about them and start preaching off to members of the crowd about what they're doing and doing wrong. They just kind of went, "Come on, you can cut that out." I think that was the maximum that was said all day from the police.
Got to use your common sense.
There wasn't one arrest.
Yeah.
350,000.
And there shouldn't need to be either. There shouldn't need to be an arrest. Let people celebrate, man. You know what I mean?
That's what the police did. They just got out of the way and went,
Yeah.
"I'm not joking."
Don't get me wrong. If something massively kicks off, then be there.
Then be there.
But if there's two dudes walking down the street with a J on, just let them walk down the street with a J on. It's
yeah, exactly. It's a sunny day. Leave them alone. But honestly, I have never seen so many armed police in the city.
Yeah.
The amount of armed police and anti-terrorist police that were there was so high. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was massive. Not even your small gun guys. I looked at this copper. He was 6'7". He's got a rifle that looks about 5'2" on him. He's just a huge mammoth of a man. And Ethan
Just a
went,
big boy.
I like your gun. And he just looked at him and went, thank you. And then Ethan just walked off. I was like, yeah, he's happy with his pistol. Let's just leave him alone. But yeah, absolutely amazing. Top day. Great time with the babies. Great time with the missus. I don't think she wanted to be there. I don't think there's something she wants to be there.
But sacrifices that you make for your family.
But the sacrifices she made for the family. Yeah. Amazing.
Sound. No, that's really good, man. That's cool.
And I keep having this. I keep looking into the clouds and having Star Wars moments.
Oh.
Like in the Newcastle parade when they won and everything else. I can see like me dad, me granddad, and for some reason Bobby Robson in the clouds. I don't know where Bobby's come from, but for some reason I just keep seeing them guys in the clouds. It's still happening at this moment in time. So it's a bit like last weekend was just raw emotion. Seeing me auntie and me uncle and not having me dad there and not having all these people that died young within the building. It was just heart-wrenching, but joyful all at the same time. So yeah, top day.
That's ace, man. That's really cool. Speaking, if we can stay on football. Speaking of football, I watched Vale Walsall yesterday. It was on. It was early afternoon kickoff, so it was on Sky Sports Plus. So I banged that on. Mate, the first half was just like it was one of the most entertaining games of football.
Was it? I was
ace.
at football, so I missed it. So this is all you know.
Yeah, well, 4 minutes. I'm even going to do this from memory. I haven't even got it up on the computer. 4 minutes, Vale score. Right?
Yeah.
Vale score, 4 minutes. Couple of minutes later, penalty, Walsall score. Right? Couple of minutes after that, 11. We're in 11 minutes now. Walsall score again.
Yep.
Right? And it's like, oh my God, we're 11 minutes in. There's all this action. Yeah, entertaining. The first half carries on, and it's just more of the same. Fucking back and forth. Vale score.
Yeah.
Right? 2-2. Right? Then we get into stoppage time. Penalty. Vale score again. 47 minutes or something like that. It's 3-2 Vale. And I'm like, wow, this is, I am leaving this on. This is coming onto the shop floor with me.
Just going to drag this round with me now.
On the counter, just my phone on the counter, turned all the way up, watching the second half of the match. People like in the shop going, what's that? Can anybody else hear that?
It's the Vale, shut up.
Like I'm watching the match. Even had customers like just kind of like loitering, just looking at my phone. I'm like, it's all right, mate, you can stay, it's fine, don't worry. Like, but yes, a lovely 3-2 victory for the Vale, meaning that League Two now has a new team at the top of the table for the first time since December the 7th.
Port Vale, innit?
Port Vale.
There you go.
Top of the table. Considering, mate, that battle. I mean, Walsall were like they were like Liverpool.
Genuinely,
miles
I've got no
ahead.
idea. I've got no idea how Vale are now top of the league because last time I looked, they were nowhere near top of the league.
Well,
and Walsall were running away with
They
it.
did that thing where they were top of the league, and then Christmas came, and then they weren't.
Yeah, they had the mess
and
around.
and they dropped I swear they dropped out of playoffs as well, and all of a sudden, like it's like them top. What is it, 4, 7? Let's say 8. It's like them top 8 teams have all decided to like either play shit or play really well. And it's everything's just all getting all mixed up again. So we were talking about the police in Newcastle at the weekend and we were also keeping our eye on the Stoke game.
Yeah.
And Stoke at the time were losing and they were one place away from the relegation zone. And the next run of matches, Tuesday and Saturday, I think Tuesday they're playing Luton, I want to say.
Yeah.
And Saturday they're playing
Derby.
the other team, in the relegation. I can't remember which one.
Derby are no longer in the relegation zone.
Are they not? Well, they were at the time.
They're below Stoke.
But yeah, Stoke managed to pull a draw off, so they have shot up quite a few places. Just like 1 point. That's how close it is. That 1 point has shot them up a bit. But like I'm looking at it going, Vale are now top of the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean we'll finish top of the table, but we're looking good. You know, however many games, not many games left. We're looking good for promotion, you know, whether it's 1, 2, or 3, you know, even playoffs, you know, but it's looking good. And I remember us talking about Stoke going, it's going to take a lot of bad luck from Stoke's point of view and their surrounding teams for Stoke to be relegated. And then I looked at it and went, this is not beyond the realms of possibility now.
No, it's quite.
If they don't
Even
pull
now,
their
it's still very much on.
thumb out with their arse, this is not beyond the realms of possibility. And
2 losses and they're done.
Yeah.
Or a draw and a loss and they're done.
and you're on about how good the police force were with that many people in Newcastle upon Tyne.
Mm-hmm.
And my head is, and I've said this many times, my head is going, I don't think that Stoke-on-Trent and the police force can handle a Stoke Vale derby. I just don't think they can.
Think they can.
It's not the 90s anymore.
I know, but all the young people that were really pain in the arse, like us,
Yeah.
we're going that match. We're going that match. And 5 beers in, we could go either way. This could be happy. This could be unhappy.
Yeah.
This could be violent. It could be cheery. Who knows?
It's,
We're past 7 beers.
It's crazy. Like I was chatting to Ian at work about this as well, and we were on about like derby rivalries, and apparently like a survey was done a few years ago, and the Vale Stoke derby is voted as one of the most like the hated ones. You know, you got the Old Firm, you got Celtic Rangers and whatnot, but like Stoke Vale, that's been voted as one of like the teams that really do not like each
same
other.
city, aren't we?
Yeah, and
Same
like,
as Rangers Celtic.
yeah, Rangers Celtic, yeah, and yeah, it's. I just don't know how it's going to go down. I just think back to when it was the Stoke Vale match in whatever that was, it League Cup. I can't remember.
When we played Wolves and everyone got beat by everyone kicked. I don't know what game it was against.
Was it the one where it was the one where Vale Stoke played, but Stoke sent like the kids. They sent the 14-year-olds to go play Vale. You
Yeah,
remember?
yeah.
And
they sold out the away end.
The Bogs got trashed and everything.
About
like.
10 Vale fans went because it was a cup match.
Yeah,
And Stoke sold out the away end.
yeah.
And they
it's-
lost 2-1, I think, and they just broke the toilets.
Yeah.
And then Vale turned it into the new home end.
And it's like
If you gain break stuff, you gain in the old ones.
you're in the old ones. But you imagine like an actual real match, a real league match, like between Stoke Vale.
Just kick off.
I'm dreading it.
And the only reason it kicks off is because of sore losers. In football, that's the only reason it kicks off. Just because of sore losers.
The Walsall Vale match yesterday, we call that the Mike Lloyd derby.
The Mike Lloyd derby.
Yeah, because he's been chairman of both teams.
Well, we also had the Premier League yesterday. Everton played Arsenal to kick the day off, and that ended 1-1. Great result for Everton.
Yeah.
Jordan Pickford watched the highlights, pulled off his save. He didn't need to do because it was already offside, so it didn't matter. But there's a save he's pulled off. Jesus Christ. I don't know how he's done it, and I hate Jordan Pickford. But I'll give him credit for that. Crystal Palace beat Brighton 2-1. That's a very surprising result. Ipswich got beat by Wolves 2-1 at home. The Ed Sheeran teams just about get relegated. West Ham 2, Bournemouth 2, or Bournemouth 2. And Aston Villa 2, Nottingham Forest 1. They scored 2 quick goals last night and then just decided to just park the bus now. And then survived a late scare. Stoke City, as we said, drew with Preston, and Port Vale won 3-2 in the Mike Lloyd derby.
The Mike Lloyd derby.
Today we have got some good matches today. Oh, we've got some great matches today. Oh, so today we've got Brentford v Chelsea, so that's a local derby. We've got Fulham v Liverpool. We've got Tottenham versus Southampton, and then we've got the big boy, Manchester United
Manchester derby.
versus Man City, and that's always a very heated affair.
Yeah.
Now,
And two Manchester teams that are not playing as well as they have done in previous seasons.
yeah.
Lot of pride on the line for this one.
I think Man City need to win this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're playing a team that's 14th, I think, 13th,
13th
14th,
at the moment, yeah.
one or the other. I don't know. I don't follow the lower league teams. It's got to be a Man City win easily.
Mm-hmm.
I'd dunk a tenner on Man City.
Yeah.
Get a tenner back.
Oh, speaking of betting, did you ever go to the National?
I didn't.
No, me neither.
I didn't. I'm not. That was one of the worst publicised nationals. Did you go on Saturday? Oh Christ, it's the National.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like, it wasn't even me. It was Ian at work. He went, "Oh, it's the National today," and I went, "Is it?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I'll have a quick mooch on Sky Bet," and I jumped on and I looked down the list and went, "You know what? I ain't even bother."
It's the least. I didn't even know the National was coming up.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about it.
I mean, I'm not big into horse racing or anything like that, but
think,
but everybody has to go at the National. You know what I mean? It's just a thing, isn't it? You all have a go on the National.
I think we should just change the National a little bit.
I remember working at Rare, like, and you'd go up to the bookies. You wouldn't even do it. You wouldn't even be all modern and do it on your phone. You go up the bookies, you'd get some slips, bring them back down to work. Everybody'd be throwing quids in, and we'd all your bets would go on. We'd send somebody else back up to the bookies with all the money.
Well, blokes would meet in the pub in the morning. We'd
Yeah.
go and put the bets on and everything else. But now
Sweepstakes.
But now it doesn't start till 4 o'clock in
Doesn't
the
start till 4
afternoon.
o'clock,
So
yeah.
it's like, why?
And I always like, you look at the odds, but you look at the names as well. And for me, I'll pick one that isn't odds on favourite. I'll get somebody that got a chance but isn't odds on favourite.
Yeah.
And then I'll just find one with like just the name, like something like cock in the eye, like something. I'm going to put £2
won
on.
the National last
I'm
year.
going to put £2 on cock in the eye.
I annoyed everyone last year. I picked first, second, and third.
I've never picked the winner, but I have picked like second before. That's as close as I've come.
Yeah,
and I normally go each way on the bet as well.
It
So
must be the time of the year I do good on betting. I didn't click into that before. I always seem to do good with bets in this period. I think I should always bet in Lent.
ooh. Staying on sports, Formula One was this morning. Japanese Grand Prix. Yeah, I got up for it. Wish I hadn't have fucking bothered.
The
Seriously?
Grand Prix.
Yeah, fuck, Cleon. Wow, this is not the old podcast
Sorry.
anymore. It's like,
What? No, I can say that. I can say that, can't I?
I don't know. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Who
I can't
cares?
do this,
You-
but I
you
can't go,
can't.
hello.
I don't know. I'm not too sure. It's
Oh,
fine.
What's
I don't-
happened to doing an impression of someone?
I don't actually
people?
care anymore. It's
Yeah.
just impressions.
It's just an impression.
Yeah, that was pretty boring in all fairness. Like the race, it was Japan, so the race over here it starts at 6 a.m. So I got up and I kind of it was an hour and a half of my time where I could have still been asleep, and I could have just watched the highlights on Channel 4 later.
Who won?
Like Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen won. Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, surprising that Max Verstappen won because the McLarens are like kicking arse at the moment. But he pulled a lap at his qualifying lap yesterday. He pulled it out of his arse. I don't know where that came from because there was no signs of that leading up to it.
Yeah.
And for me, he's just proving like you can say what you want about him about being in the best car, about how he should never have won his first world championship. Lewis Hamilton got screwed, blah blah blah, whatever. You can say what you want about him being a sulky baby because sometimes he comes across like that, but you cannot deny the fact.
Do you think he's sulky?
Well, you cannot deny the fact that he's one of the greatest F1 drivers on the track at the moment. For Max Verstappen to not be, he's still in a good car. Don't get me wrong, right? But so's Yuki Tsunoda. Oh, that's another story. So's Yuki Tsunoda, who finished 12th, and he's pulling laps like that out of his arse in that car. And it's just like, yeah, the guy's a really good driver and he deserves every world championship he's got.
Me and Max Verstappen could sit at a table having tea and have a lovely time. All
Yeah.
he does, he's not arrogant.
I
don't
think-
think he's arrogant. I think he just describes what he
I think he's also, I do think he's chilling out a bit now as well. Like he's he's a bit more mellow and he's undeniably one of the greatest drivers on the track at the moment. Simple as that.
But I just think he's one of those guys, if someone goes, Max, you won today by a clear 4 seconds, he'll go, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of the Red Bulls,
You're not asking me a question.
so Sergio Perez, who was driving for Red Bull last
Yeah.
season, they wanted rid of him, but he was still in a contract. So they paid him a ridiculous amount of money for him to walk away from his contract, and he did. And they brought in Liam Lawson, young rookie, right? And they brought him up to the big boy team, the Red Bull team. Now, the thing with Red Bull is they've got 2 teams. They've got Red Bull Racing and they've got the Racing Bulls. And the Racing Bulls is like little brother,
Yeah.
like, Mom, I'm going out. Take your little brother with you. All right. So the Racing Bulls is like the little brother. But that's where the rookies go. The rookies go to the Racing Bulls and they get the experience. And the one that does really well
Yep.
goes to drive for the Red Bulls. Liam Lawson got pulled into so this is his rookie season and he's driving in the big boy car. They did 2 races with him. 2. That's it. And then demoted him back down to Racing Bull because he just wasn't performing. And I'm like, the guy's a rookie. He's in the big boy team.
Yeah, but you don't know what's going on in that helmet.
And it's like, fuck.
He could just be screaming going round
Yeah.
that track. He could be in that car going, ah! And you're like, lad, calm down. I know it's a bit quicker.
Yeah.
But every time, like on Tagadella Nights, when every time
Yeah,
a fast
yeah.
car went past him, he was like, holy shit, what's that?
It's so you've got Yuki Tsunoda, Japanese driver. He's been driving for the Racing Bulls for however many seasons now. He's been in there a while. And everybody was saying Yuki should get the seat. He should get the second seat in Red Bull.
Yeah.
And they didn't give it to him. They gave it Liam Lawson, who's a rookie like. So what they've done, 2 races, and they've swapped him. So Liam Lawson's gone down to Racing Bull.
Yep.
And Yuki Tsunoda's come up to the Red Bull car.
Roger.
So qualifying was yesterday, and Yuki Tsunoda is in his big shiny new car and his new shiny overalls, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm in the big boy team." Qualifies 1 place below Liam Lawson.
Karma.
He ended up finishing 12th, but it's the curse of the second Red Bull seat. Yeah, if you are the number 2 Red Bull driver, you're not getting a fucking look in. It's as simple as that. You're just not. Like same with Ferrari for all them years with Michael Schumacher. You know what I mean? If you were Ferrari's number 2 driver and Michael Schumacher was the number 1 driver, you are not getting a look in.
Is he still alive?
Schumacher. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's still alive. Nobody's seen him since his skiing accident. Complete press blackout on everything, but yeah, he's still alive.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. I don't think he's in a good state, but it was didn't one of his kids get married recently? I think one of his kids got married recently, and the wedding and everything was at the house, and on all the guests on entry got searched,
Yeah.
and it was mobile phones and a lockbox. Like you leave everything. Like
He's got an injury then.
yeah, well, anything that like anything that you could take a photo with or a video, anything in a lockbox, you couldn't get it till you left. There's complete press blackout on it. You just can't.
I hope he's all right.
Um,
He's obviously not.
He's
but
not. He's
I
not.
hope he's okay.
I think all them years driving around race tracks at stupid mile an hour, and he ends up getting injured skiing. You know what I mean? It's just like, fuck, man.
Loads of celebrities and all that lot have had bad accidents on a ski slope.
And everybody's like, oh, it's because he went off-piste. It's like, well, all right. The guy can fucking drive around in a circle at 300 mile an hour and not die. It's like...
He's got that speed
Yeah.
addiction, Auntie. I think he just didn't realise he didn't have the casing around him.
It's it's a shame, man. He was very good. Don't get me wrong, he had the backing of the team, and he had a brilliant car, but he was still one of the best. Definitely still one of the best ever. And I think in a few years, if if Max Verstappen stays in F1, because he's on about like he's still young and he wants to do other things. You know, he's very like.
I heard Luke Littler say something similar in an interview as well. Yeah, if I'm still in darts in a couple of years, then yeah, I might catch Phil Taylor, but I probably won't.
Yeah, it's they've got like other interests and stuff like Max Verstappen. Some people get into F1 because they want to be the best and they want to break records. Lewis Hamilton broke fucking records, breaking records left, right, and centre. And Max Verstappen's like, yeah, I've done really well. I've won world championships. My name's up there. I've broke some records, but I'm also young. And I want to do other things. I want to go drive in other formulas. I want to go and do something else. Like, I don't have to be here forever. I've got other interests, and that's absolutely fucking fine. But if he stays in F1, I think he's got a good chance of being up there on that Mount Rushmore. You know what I mean?
I think Hamilton's due a world championship in a red car.
I fucking hope so.
And I think that's why he's gone.
Yeah.
Because then he beats Schumacher.
Beating Schumacher in the Ferrari.
In a red car. That's the reason he's gone.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I know, but that's the reason. That's the reason he's gone.
He's always wanted to drive for Ferrari. Ferrari was his favourite team. Sebastian Vettel always said, even if you don't like Ferrari, you like Ferrari.
Oh, I'm the same. Yeah. If you want to race for a team in F1, Cleon, who do you want to race for?
Ferrari.
Why?
Just
car looks nice, red.
Arms up like that. Because it's a Ferrari. That's why. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Red Bull and McLaren and Mercedes have all had better cars over the last however many years. It's a fucking Ferrari. It's a Ferrari. That's why I want
stallion on the bonnet. Yeah. I'm not having it. So, yeah.
New car regs next season.
McLaren could come close to. And
McLaren's
a close second.
I've always been a McLaren fan. I love the McLarens. I'm from that Mika Hakkinen, David Coulthard era of McLaren.
Same.
I mean, always, you support the Williams as well, the British teams and whatnot.
Do you know what else I want back in F1? I haven't even said one thing that I want back in F1.
I was going to say, I didn't even realise you wanted anything.
I'm going to start with, do you know where else I want back in F1?
Go on.
Fag advertising. Cigarette advertising on the cars.
Okay.
I really miss that.
Yeah. The Marlboro on the back of on the back of the McLarens.
On the back of the McLarens, the Benson and Edges and all that jazz all around them. Embassy.
Yeah, well, they banned it all, didn't they, across all the sports? Like I
want the girlies in the bikinis back.
The snooker masters, it was always the Embassy Masters, Embassy World Masters.
Yeah.
And that...
now we're moaning there's no money in the sport. Bring it back.
No. Masters was Benson and Edges. Embassy was the Worlds. The darts always had cigarette sponsorship, but I don't remember, because I don't smoke, I don't remember the last time I saw a packet of cigarettes. Seriously. I don't remember the last time I saw a packet.
The last time you were around my house.
Packet. No, but I haven't seen it. I don't remember. Like when you go, because obviously it's all behind locked doors now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go to the shop, the supermarket, wherever.
It's kind of like a filthy... Yeah. It's like your filthy secret.
They've turned it into a dirty little secret. Every single packet's exactly the same. All the same colour. No branding, no bloody anything like that. They're all the same colour.
They've all got some type of weird health.
Yeah, they've all got pictures of the inside of your lungs in there.
Yeah. I don't need to see that. It puts me off.
Smoking can reduce your sperm count. Cash back.
Yeah. That's not a way to. That's not an incentive to stop people. That's not an incentive.
Yeah,
that's a reason to start.
They really went in hard on it. It's not going to be. Is it? They've changed. Have they changed the? Something happened this year with cigarettes and selling them.
No, what's happened this year? What's happening this year is vaping.
No, something happened with cigarettes because it was
like. Have you noticed it's no longer quit smoking on the adverts? Have you not noticed that? That change was brought in on Thursday. It no longer says stop smoking on adverts. What does it say?
Stop vaping.
Stop vaping. If you're trying to quit vaping.
I'm just looking at the smoking ban thing.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Silence is golden, really, in a podcast, Dave.
You said, I didn't think you finished your sentence. If you're looking at vaping and then it paused, it sounded like you were going to do something else.
A nice subtle advert change. The stop smoking adverts has stopped, and the stop vaping adverts have now started. So your Nicorette patches for vaping, and to try and help people to wean them off their blueberry or blackberry or popcorn or watermelon vapes that they have.
Right.
If you need to stop smoking your watermelon vapes. Do you vape, Dave?
I don't.
No. Do you know why? Because you're not bent. I don't care. I don't care, matey. I think this whole vaping nonsense mad. How can, right? You've got a little bottle this big, Dave. So you got a little bottle about 6 inches tall, right? Which is all chemical liquid. Yep. You fill up a device. That device synthesizes that chemical, turns it into smoke, and you ingest it. How can that be more healthy? Just common sense time.
Yeah.
How can that be more healthy? Oh, it's not got as many chemicals in. But you're doing the same principle.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know because we haven't had enough people that have what are you doing? I think it's a little bit crazy that we've got grown men walking around with popcorn flavour vapes and blueberry flavour vapes and mint flavour vapes and everything else. I think it's a little bit...
I understand the reason behind it initially, where it was like, you'll still get your nicotine fix, but you're not getting everything else that comes with it. So it's a way of breaking you away from the cigarettes, blah blah blah. But however many years on now, so we're talking like, when did it become really popular? Like 2016, something like that. That's when it really started.
Yeah.
I think like 9 years on, people are just not smoking now. They're just going straight into vaping, and it's like, are we achieving anything here?
And how is it safe to have sweetie flavoured vapes when it wasn't acceptable to have sweetie flavoured, the little... You used to get, as a kid, a little packet of fake cigarettes.
Yeah.
And it used to have a tattoo in.
Yeah.
It used to have the Batman tattoo in, and it used to have like a deck of 10 candy fags.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to pretend that you were smoking when you were a kid. How is vaping any different from that?
There was one. I remember the local shop by me when we were a kid. Like in America, the cigarettes in America, they were like paper, because I was a car boy.
Yeah.
They're like paper ones, because they used to tap it on their arm and a cigarette would fly up.
We'll flick it on the bottom.
There was a shop that used to sell. They looked exactly like cigarettes. They were packets on the shelf, and they looked like cigarettes. Cigarette packet, you open them the same way, and inside they were chocolate sticks with white paper wrapped around them. So they looked like cigarettes, and you could just buy them. And we never knew whether you could eat the paper or not. Was it rice paper? Was it normal paper? So you'd end up like eating the paper on one of them, and then going, I don't think you can. But yeah, you could buy all that kind of shit. But yeah, I was just reading about this, what came in last year, and I don't know the details on it because BBC haven't really covered it properly here. But from November last year, I think it was something like, it's illegal for anyone who is currently aged 15 or under to ever buy cigarettes in the UK.
Yes, yeah.
So like that age group of people, as they get older, when the law comes in, cigarettes will be illegal.
Impossible to manage.
Yeah.
That's a complete virtue thing, that is. That is impossible to manage.
So that was last year. So you have to be 18 now, don't you, for cigarettes? They up the age to 18, so 15. So 3 years' time, they're looking at a complete ban.
That's like we're looking to get rid of the copper out the ground.
Do you know...
Since 2017, and we're now on 2025, and it's still there.
Do you know the worst thing about the smoking ban? Remember early 2000s or late 2000s, sorry, where they banned it in public places.
Yeah.
You can't smoke in pubs and stuff like that. Is when you wake up with a hangover in the morning, you'd always have that nicotine smell on you. You'd have that cigarette smell. You'd have a hangover and you'd stink of fags.
Yeah.
Like, and I never smoked, but everybody was
Wasn't
smoking.
like that for me. I woke up smelling a clunge.
Everybody, everybody smoked. They all smoked indoors. All smoked on the dance floors. Everybody smoking everywhere. And you'd wake up, and the association of the smell with the hangover, that was always there. And the first night I went out after the smoking ban, I woke up in the morning, and I had the stinking hangover, but I couldn't compute. Why do I smell like shit? Like, I just smell like BO and
yeah.
feet. Like,
Well, I was just about to jump in on you. So, my worst time of a nightclub's the last.
but
minute.
people aren't getting lung cancer, so
You know, in the last minute of a nightclub where they shutting the lights on and they go, right, get out, and
Yeah.
you see what everyone looks like now. When it was smoking, that used to happen, and they used to open the door, and all the smoke used to go like. So all it was cigarettes. You're right, and then we've had a couple of years of just pure ponginess
Yeah.
since just pong,
And now everybody smells like watermelon vape.
and now what we've got is just a bunch of blackcurrant, watermelon, popcorn flavored smoking everywhere.
It's a strange one.
And
It's
no
a
one
strange
goes out for vaping. Everyone's on that cheeky vape.
one. That one. Yeah.
You've even got people in work sneaky
Mm-hmm.
vaping indoors. I'd love it set a sprinkler off.
I know, yeah.
With all the laptops and around and everything, I'd stand underneath like George Michael and Fast Love. I would.
Getting all moist.
This is what I teach you, you vaping bastards. No, 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 no.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of vaping at all. I don't think it's a real thing. I think it's something we've brought in to try and stop people from smoking. But the moment we made it into flavours like sweets, we made it appealing to children. And I don't know how it's allowed. It's really confusing for me. Because if you're making something that kids will enjoy,
Yeah.
why is it legal? Because with cigarettes, you're saying, well, they're illegal.
Yeah.
But kids don't really like tasting them anyway.
No.
There's no idols that do that no more. There's not David Bowie walking round. Do you know David Bowie, when he used to drive around in his car, in the back of his car he had a Picasso.
Okay.
He had a full-on living room in the back of his limousine. And he used to smoke while he was going round and picking people up. And there's no idols anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah, of
There's
course,
no
yeah.
Keith Richards. There's no
Yeah.
Bowie. There's these guys
Everybody
that used to
smoked.
smoke.
Yeah.
There's none of those people anymore. And even the people that do smoke, a la your Gary Barlows, you never see them
You
smoking.
don't do it in public, yeah.
Yeah, you never see them smoking. They must be crafty fagging like me every single night. Every night, all the pop stars are online from about 4 o'clock, just go, just filling up them lungs. But it's just a change in society. But I don't think this change in society is necessarily a change for the better.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. Yeah, I mean, I did vape for a short while.
You've never smoked
I've never smoked, but this was when I was trying.
FOMO.
No. No, I was trying loads of different like things to help with sleep and mental health and stuff like that, and it was suggested try like CBD. Yeah, I know. It's a fucking placebo. And so, yeah, it was suggested try CBD. So, like, knowing that my brother, he runs a vape shop.
Yeah.
And-
We all got done by your brother when he was working in that vape shop.
yeah, he runs a vape shop. So, and he had CBD liquid. So I went to him about it, and he set me up with a vape and everything like in the liquid, and showed me what I was doing. So, I did that for a short while, but, it did fuck all. Tasted nice.
That's kind of my point.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, but yeah, it was. I think that, you know, placebo, because I wanted it to work. It quote unquote worked for a bit, but then it didn't, and I'm like, yeah, it's just
It's a
not.
placebo.
It's not doing anything. So yeah. Anyway, let's wrap it up.
Let's bap it up.
Let's wrap it up for the day. Big thank you to everybody that listens week in and week out. You guys are amazing. Be sure to give us a like, follow, and subscribe on whatever podcasting platform you use. We're available wherever podcasts are available. And what we would appreciate is a cheeky little like or subscribe on our YouTube channel. We've been out and about over the last couple of weeks gathering content to launch the YouTube channel. We're going to be visiting places in and around Stoke-on-Trent. I think we've got to make a rule there, Cleon, where it's got to have an ST postcode. So
we can't do Newcastle.
Newcastle's got an ST postcode.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We can't do Newcastle upon Tyne.
Newcastle does have an ST postcode.
Newcastle under Lyme.
It's got an ST postcode.
Yeah.
Oh, just checking.
Did you not know that? Well,
Yeah, of course I knew that.
oh,
I'm just shouting it from the rooftop so anyone from Newcastle can hear it.
yeah. ST
There's a
postcode.
council argument going on in the background, Dave, at the
They've all
moment.
got an ST postcode. I think that should be the rules. But we're going out and about. We're a little bit fed up of like YouTubers going around the country, going into people's cities and saying this place is a shithole. And there's a lot of people that come to Stoke-on-Trent and go, this place is a shithole. Well, if you only visit the shitholes, then it's going to look like a shithole. If you visit somewhere that isn't a shithole, then it's going to be fine. So we want to show you all of the places that you can visit in and around Stoke-on-Trent that are fun and exciting and educational and nice, and you know, from tourist attractions to independent shops to independent bars, anything like that. You know, we want to go out and show you places that you can visit in and around Stoke-on-Trent where you'll have a good time,
Yes, sir.
and that they're not shitholes. So last couple of weeks we've been gathering content. We're gonna build up a library of content. We're going to get all the videos edited and sorted, and then bang, we're going to do a mass dump on YouTube.
I still need to send you that voiceover.
So we much appreciate if we could get some subscribers onto the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/@upthetrent, or just search Up the Trent without a paddle. You'll find us and hit the subscribe button. We've got a little bit of stuff on there already. You know, the shorts that we put on Instagram and stuff like that. They're up there, and also the podcast feed is linked to the YouTube channel. So if you don't use Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever else to listen to podcasts, but you've got YouTube, then you can listen to the podcast on YouTube if you want to do that. So yeah, give us a subscribe on there. We'll really appreciate it. Follow our socials, Instagram, it's Up the Trent Podcast, and on Facebook, X, and Blue Sky, it's Up the Trent. You guys are awesome, and we will see you next time.